We all went for a bike ride and stopped off for coffee. Out of the blue, Ian just said something like, I wonder if you could rent a Boris bike, take it down to Ventoux and ride up and get back within 24 hours. And yeah, we all kind of have a bit of a laugh at that. And
so let's look at this. You take a Boris bike from a docking point in London, completely unmodified from its daily specification. Drive it via the Eurotunnel to Ventoux in southern France, 720 miles away. Ride it from Bedouin, the village at the base, to the top, which is 22 kilometres, 14 miles. This is the mountain that beat Lance Armstrong, and where Eddie Merckx needed oxygen at the top. Then, to complete the challenge, you turn around and come back. All within 24 hours in order to avoid a fine of £150 for a late return.
And we're just looking up the row of Boris bikes to see which one will be best for our voyage. And we've struck upon this one at the end here, which actually looks very new.
22591. Can't wait to get going.
At 3:58, the boys undock the bike and bundle it into the back of the truck, ready for the journey to Folkestone and the Eurotunnel. All would not be straightforward right from the beginning.
Not only is the M20 closed for 3 junctions, we're now stuck behind a French lorry.
It must have cost us at least 5 or 6 minutes delay.
Bit nervy getting to the tunnel there with a 3-junction diversion.
Well, we're as on schedule as we can be because we're governed by these trains. So providing they're on time, then we're on time.
Already live knowing
Once off the Eurotunnel at 07:30 local time, the boys know a long drive is ahead of them. Estimated arrival at Bedouin, the village at the base of the mountain, is 4 p.m.
Right, we're now only under an hour away. Nearly ready to go. He's got his.
I'm all good. We've got an hour to go. Just about to limber up.
We're finally off. We're coming off the motorway. There we are, the world famous observation tower.
After a brief excursion on the Lyon Circular Road, they arrive at Bedouin at 15:55.
The bike's ready.
Raring to go.
Onward and upward, sir. Good luck. Well done.
The first bit is relatively easy, so I thought. And I'd watched loads of videos, I checked out the gradient, and I started off in middle gear. I knew I was never going to use the top gear at all. But literally within 2Ks, I was having to go down to bottom gear.
That's 2K of the first of this 9K.
Going well so far.
As Rob entered the 6 to 15 kilometres, he was into the steepest section of the climb.
I had no idea what to expect. I had no idea how difficult or easy it was going to be to get up the steep bits. So it was literally just taking it 1 kilometre at a time.
It's steeper than I thought. Doing good. We're an hour and 5 in, so we're doing well.
In the trees, with an ambient temperature of 25 degrees centigrade and with no breeze, this was gut-busting work.
Mountain bikers.
Hydration was a key factor to get Rob up to the top.
Gels, energy, good.
How's he doing?
Yeah, he's alright, he's suffering.
Once through the trees, the boys knew that the dreaded wooded section was done. They were now at Chalet Reynard, an immediately recognisable view and a welcome change of scenery.
If you read about it and all the stories about it, everyone says once you got to Chalet Reynard, you've cracked it, because the really steep bit is the 7 or 8 kilometres before you get there. But obviously you're more tired, so you get a little bit of a respite at Chalet Reynard, and then it ramps up again. But then you're on the exposed part of the mountain.
Pain fest. Pain. Go and try this at home.
I didn't think that I would be going for that long in order to be cramping up or to need any kind of salt tablets. I mean, I've cramped before on long events, and I just started to feel like I was just starting to get a bit of cramp. And really, either you've lost too much fluid or you're just not conditioned well enough, which is probably a bit of both. And I just thought, oh my God, if I start cramping up, you can't ride when your legs are cramping up. So I was definitely worried.
As they got higher, and afternoon turned into early evening, the weather on the mountain turned cooler as the sun began to set. With the heat and the amount of effort, it was now that the mountain really started to take its toll on Rob.
Yeah, I was completely knackered, really. The zigzagging's really just to ease off the gradient, right? So it probably looks a bit worse than it is, but some of the sections were getting so steep. The corners, you can have a little bit of respite, but the sections between them get so steep. And I just didn't have enough power in my legs to get, that hunk of metal go straight. So I had to weave.
About 1 kilometre from the top of the climb is the memorial to Tommy Simpson, a British rider who died on the mountain in the 1967 Tour de France.
I've read a lot about Tommy Simpson. I knew that he had a memorial there. I knew the story about, him dying of exhaustion, essentially, a couple of kilometres from the top. So it was almost like that was a point to get to give me some inspiration, and it totally did. And I would have loved to have stopped there and, hung out for a little bit. But I just, tip chapeau to Tommy Simpson, and it gave me a real boost. It did give me a boost.
That is how much he's got left to do.
Even up to that point, I just thought, I don't know if I can keep going. I literally didn't know if I could keep going.
Now Rob was into the final kilometre of what had become the most epic bike ride, and this was the hardest, steepest bit of all.
And once I could sort of sniff the final corner, I just was like, go for it. And then that last corner, even though it was super steep, that last corner, it just felt great.
This is it. Woohoo! Come on, buddy.
but it was just relief. It was just total relief because it was a constant grind the whole way up.
That is for my dad and all the cancer sufferers out there. That's just a small taste of pain. So
I've never done anything like that before.
22 kilometres up an average gradient of 10% on a city bike with 3 gears weighing over 25 kilograms with no stops. The time, although irrelevant, was 2 hours 55 minutes and it felt good. They had to get back to London within 24 hours to actually make the task a success and avoid a large fine. The time was now 7 p.m, half an hour later than they had planned.
Here we are, en route back to England, and we've come across what can only be described as a biblical storm. We've been to Ventoux,
Cycling.
riding a bike up.
With only 1 minute to spare after more than 8 hours driving, the boys made it to the Calais Eurotunnel check-in. They were the last car allowed on before the gate was closed.
We made it!
Matt's already celebrating, and just like the Italian job, you know that's premature. I am not convinced until we actually get on this train that we've actually made it. It's been such a roller coaster.
I took over the driving at about 295 miles to go, thinking that I'd probably swap again. Got about 3/4 of an hour into it, and then thought, if we don't swap, we might make it, and made it with 2 minutes, if that, to go before they closed the gate.
The train arrives in Folkestone 10 minutes late. This gives the boys 1 hour and 10 minutes to get back to the docking point in London. However, the weather has other ideas.
So what you need to understand is that we picked it up. I think we decided probably 3:58 a.m. and we've just got off and that's the time.
As they head back into London, first an accident on the rain-soaked motorway, and then numerous roadworks and red lights slowed their progress and led to a very tense journey as the time ticked away.
Let's go left round here and then do it. Oh, we might.
Continue 0.1 miles, then turn right on
Missed the
Tower
post.
Bridge Road. Recalculating.
Okay.
Take second
And out.
exit to New Kent Road.
There's one here, one here. Just keep it off. Time. Done it.
Literally 2 minutes too.
So what had started as a throwaway conversation between 3 friends at a cafe on a Sunday morning ride had actually been achieved. Through some careful planning, some serious training, and a large pinch of lady luck, the guys have made it a reality.
So basically, just to clarify, it came down to a minute.
It was less than a minute, literally. Less than a minute. That was mental.
Can we go home now?
Unbelievable.
Oh man.